Okay. I don't have a starting soon screen. So I just sat there for 5 minutes until 7 p.m. hit, and I figured, you know what, this is the loading screen now. This is a new loading screen, just me going. What happened to the silly boxing one? I'll let you know. Oh, oopsies. Hold up. Hold on. Let me... There you go. Hi! Thumbnail outline also be a line? What? Thumbnail outline? What do you mean? What? What do you mean thumbnail outline? What? My body is... Yeah! On purpose. Yeah! I put it on because I thought it was cute. I saw, who was it? I saw Vivi. Thumbnail edition. I saw Vivi keep her outline and like a backdrop on her stream, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cute. So I kept it. I stole it actually. I love how we all just assume you're incompetent, brother. Brother in Christ. Oh, hello! It's been so long. Oh my god, is this it? Is this it? Knock on wood, chat. This cannot be a jinx. This can't be a jinx. Mero! Mero is back! Oh my god! Yeah! Welcome back, Oshi! Hiya, Dusty is over! The war is over! It's over! It's over! Oh my gosh. My 10 years of bad luck has eased up on me. Just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. Enough for me to be able to stream. Please tell me you came back just to play the... I am not playing the fucking horse game. I am not playing the horse game. No. Sorry. You guys know how I feel about gachas. Sorry. It's not that I hate the horse game, it's just like... It's not my game. You guys know I'm more of a Project Zomboid Frostpunk kind of girl. So I'm sorry. If horse game streams are your thing, then please, I redirect thee to Cora Valoam, my wife. I think she's playing it on stream today, no? I couldn't see, I'm sorry. I was like, at work today, I'm like, maybe I should stream today. But today, I won't be streaming for that long. It'll probably be an hour, so we'll see. We'll see how strong the yap is. We will see. Let's start things off with the basics. Yeah, we'll start things off with the important parts. First of all, I am so sorry. Life has been absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. Like, if you're on my alt account and you saw me tweet that I'm like constantly fighting my demons in life or death duels, I am not kidding. I am not kidding. It's been a ride, and there's like so much that I can't talk about just because it's a little too personal, but it's horrible, Chad. But you know, I'm still here. I'm coping. Well, coping is an overstatement, I think. Also, my phone is on 27%, so if I stop moving, I am so sorry. Yes. Yeah. Let's start with too personal for chronic overshare. Well, it's not completely my story to tell. Is the reason why. Like, I'm not the only one involved in why. Like, I'm not the only one affected, so it's not my thing to tell. Really, it's like a joint thing between me and the girly pops. But the TLDR of it is like, how do I explain this? The TLDR of it is that we were living with someone very toxic. I've had to share the room with her because I have the bigger room, so I was sharing the room with her. She wasn't a very good person, and yeah. Yeah. Typically, she would be okay with me streaming on the side, so I figured maybe I could still stream, but things got very emotionally heavy. And coming home was kind of stressful. So I couldn't stream at all. I'm so sorry. That's about as much of it as I'll like say about the situation. It was just very, very toxic. But thankfully, they are no longer living with us. She has moved out, and I am free. I am free of emotional torture. It was so bad. Holy fudge! Like when they finally moved out, all her shit was gone from my room. I was like, holy fuck. Hello. Yeah? But yeah, holy fuck. My relief was crazy. Like when she, oh my gosh, it's just okay. Like let me let me explain. It was so emotionally stressful that this like one day of confrontation like stressed me out so much that my body literally shut down. I had the most tragic migraine of my whole life. I couldn't sleep. The next day I was shaking every hour, like throughout the entire day of me at work. I was shaking. Oh, it's loud, sorry. Like I was shaking in anxiety. Like, you know when you're like so hecking nervous that your whole body is like, oh, what do I do? Oh my gosh, I hate that this is happening. Oh my gosh. You know? It was like that. It was really bad. Like when she left, I bawled my eyes out. Isn't that akin to an anxiety attack? Would you call it an anxiety attack if that was me the whole day? Like over 24 hours? Is that a thing? I wouldn't know. I've only ever had like short tiny little bouts of crash outs. Must have been very it was just the wave of relief that I felt when I looked down from my loft bed and saw that the room had so much more space and I could go home and I'm not being like criticized for even the tiniest things. Holy dude. My gosh, it's very unfortunate. Like none of us girlies saw this coming. She was very chill at the very beginning, and then when we all moved in together, her true colors kind of showed up, and it I don't know. It was so the worst part is like because I was the one in the room with her because we have the bigger room. It's like I was very much targeted for the most part of it. Like I was the main because you know I'm within close proximity. So I was just like living with that was just I didn't feel comfy in my own bedroom. But she's gone. So that's all that it is. I can't really say too much, but just cause it's like a shared experience amongst the girly pops. But in my case specifically, I am so fucking happy she's gone. I'm free. I'm free. My gosh. It was really sad because I was dealing with this throughout the off-kai thing. Where, you know, I was, thanks to the VTuber Research Club and Tiru, I was being pushed or carried around off-kai on a tablet. And I was doing that and she was in the background and I can like just sense the judginess. And I was like, man, I don't know what to do here. I've been so tense. I've just been so tense for like months since we've moved in. And once everything was said and done, my body like literally shut down. I like broke out into a full fever. To be fair, this was also the time when I kind of drank a little too many ounces of gamer subs in a day. So really, the anxiety might have been from the caffeine overdose as well. We're not gonna talk about that. I'm sorry, Mom. I can sense you typing in the chat. I can sense you typing in the Facebook Messenger group chat. I know you're gonna lecture me about my caffeine intake. I learned my lesson, okay? I'm sorry. We're good. I haven't had caffeine since then. So it's okay. Are you familiar? No? What's that? I am 50% caffeine, 50% jellyfish. Exactly. Exactly. What is too much caffeine? Apparently someone said 16 ounces for of gamer subs was like the max you should have in a day. I had twice that. No. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So we don't talk about it. Anyway. What flavor? Slightly blow or blast, of course. What is 400 to 600 milligrams per day? What does that mean? Why am I anxious song that includes caffeine? Listen, man. I have a million things to be anxious over. So that's kind of the main reason why I haven't been able to come back. Because like at some point I was like streaming the altars. We had a whole charity event on Rias's Twitch. And I was like, okay, cool. We're kind of getting back into the groove of everything. And then yeah. It kind of escalated and it's just been absolutely horrible. Absolutely bad. But yeah, that is life. I will say Mouse no longer lives with me. It's a really sad thing. But Mouse no longer lives with me. Mouse turned out to be a lot sicker than I thought. I miss him. So I think I told Chad about this when I got Mouse, but Mouse was very sick when he was a baby. Like he basically had like cat COVID. And he was the only one of his 3 siblings that survived. But this was not without complications. He has like things with his nails and his paws that typically older cats have to deal with. But he's just a baby. He's only a year and a half old. Yeah. So right now he's like dealing with all that. And he had to be taken care of A better family is taking care of him right now, with like a vet specifically for kitties that go through this. Unfortunately, I am not able to take care of a kitty like that. He has been very... how do I say? He's been very fussy because of his nails. And it's a thing that he's gonna deal with for a very long time. Like, he's gonna have that for a lifetime, so he needs to be with a family that has close access to doctors that can keep helping him with that. So unfortunately, I had to give Mouse off to someone else. But he's happy. He's very happy now. He's getting the treatment that he needs. And honestly, that's all I could ever ask for. He is such a good baby. However, I don't think he's the kind of cat that I can handle. Just because he's so sick. He's just so sick. He's such a sick baby. He needs extra attention. Like medical attention. But you know, it is what it is. I did cry about it. I've shed my tears. But we'll talk about that another time. What else? Lore drop. New lore unlocked. So this is kind of embarrassing. I learned something about myself. Not too... I think this was last week. I learned something about myself that I'm kind of ashamed of. I'm kind of immensely ashamed of. So... so at work, they hired a speech trainer for one of our executives. Because that executive has to go on like conferences and speeches and all of that stuff, and he's not very used to public speaking, and he struggles with like a little bit of a stutter when it comes to public speaking. So we hooked him up. We were like, dog, we got you. You're a great guy. You can do this. You just got a little bit of a public speaking debuff, and that's fine. So we got you. And we hooked him up with like a speech trainer. And I met this speech trainer. Like, he was in the office for like a whole day. Just casually, you know, like he would have his meetings with the guy, with the exec. And this one time, me and my boss, we were eating lunch in the lunchroom. The speech trainer was there because everything else is closed right now. And we're like casually talking, and then like I think I was like, okay, so what's up? How does this speech training thingy work? How exactly do you deal with like voice and like speeches and all that stuff? And he tells me a little bit about his like schooling background. I don't remember everything. I know he used to like teach in Toastmasters. If you guys don't know what Toastmasters is, it's like one of those organizations that specifically works on public speaking. Like they give you lessons and stuff. But he was like one of the trainers there or something. It's kind of a big deal. Yeah, Toastmaster. You guys, if you guys are interested in like public speaking or like debates and stuff like that, presentations, and you want to get better at that, Toastmasters is the way. It's this international organization. They have chapters in nearly every major city. And you can join them. They teach you speech, writing speeches, all that stuff. Yeah, it's you know, it's a really helpful resource if that's something that's a huge part of your work. So he was talking to me about like speech training and stuff like that, vocal training. I was like, what would you have to say about me? And at this point, my boss left the room because she had to go into another meeting. So it was just me and the speech trainer person while I was eating my little pizza for lunch. And then he goes, okay, we're gonna assess your voice. I'm like, and I'm like, at this point, my boss had already left the room. For free, yeah, because he was getting paid for the day. So he didn't really care whether it was like for me or the exec or for my boss or whoever. If someone had like questions for him, they pretty much just asked and they got their answers that day. So I'd be really disappointed to find out Toastmaster has a... Well, you can make a toast. technically. So at this point, my boss had left the room, and my brain had code switched. I was like, okay, she's gone. Ah, I can act normal now. So I talked to him like this, kind of. So I'm like, okay, so what's up with me? And then he, excuse me, and then he asks me, well, what do you struggle with? And I tell him, well, I'm not entirely too sure. I'm not sure where my natural voice is, or where how to project a little better or something like that. And then pronunciation becomes a little bit of a struggle. It's a tiny little bit of a struggle. And then he makes me do this exercise where he's like, okay, I need you to exhale, like sigh. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, you let out a deep breath, like, you know, when you're relieved and you go, ah. So I was like, okay. So I went, ah. And then he tells me that it's too breathy. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? And he says, you have to do it where you feel it in your rumbly tummy. Like it has to reverb in your throat and you have to feel it in your tummy. And I didn't exactly know what that meant. So I tried it again. So I went, ha! He's like, nope, that's still projected. Okay, I was like, ha! 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 And he keeps saying, okay, keep trying. I'm like, okay. And then he just says, try humming. Close your mouth and try humming. And so I did. And I said, And then he goes, yeah, there. I'm like, what do you mean? So he says, hum, but then midway, open your mouth. I'm like, okay. And he goes, that's your real voice. Now try talking in that voice. And I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And then from then on, I was kind of talking like this. So you're a sheep. And then he was like, okay, yeah, that's your real voice. That's your bass. That's your bass. And I said, okay, that can't be, because when I talk like that, it doesn't feel natural to me. And he goes, what do you mean? And I say, well, it feels like it's a lot more projected, or I have to use a lot more breath to use that, or to use that voice. So it doesn't feel natural to me. And then he goes, forgive me for asking this, and I'm sorry if this is too much of a personal question. And I go, yeah? He goes, are you by any chance autistic? I was like, what? I'm like, yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? And he said, well, you may be used to this higher register, which isn't necessarily not your natural or normal voice, but something people with autism have a tendency to speak in different tones than they normally would, depending on the situation. It's kind of like their way of adapting or some shit. I'm like, what is that? So what does that say about me? And he's like, well, there's three potential things. It's either so you know how some people, like, they whenever they feel small, or whenever they feel kind of threatened or in an uncomfy environment, you kind of make yourself feel small out of comfort. So you talk a little softer, or you try to make yourself seem a little less intimidating, or like you're trying to fight somebody. So you're talking in a little bit of a smaller tone, or a little bit of a smaller voice, or you kind of restrict yourself in a vocal manner. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And he says, is that something that you do? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Life threatens me. Is that what it is? and then he says, okay, so there's 3 potential things in your case specifically, because I told him that it was a thing that I did in high school, because people used to say that if I projected too much, or like if I speak too, because in the Philippines I struggled a little bit, because I spoke English before I ever spoke Tagalog, so that's kind of an issue. Back in the olden days, people think that if you speak English a little too well, you're kind of like you're like flexing how you're better at English than other people, which wasn't the case. It's kind of just what was taught to me first. So English came naturally to me more than Tagalog did when I was much younger. And then so he was talking about that, and he said, so there's 3 things. It's either tism, trauma, or you just like to talk like that. I'm like, damn. Goddamn. Or both. Yeah, or both. It might be both in my case. It might definitely be both in my case. Also, let me scroll up a little bit. You've been masking with your voice this whole time when you thought you were just masking with your OL voice. Autismception. Yeah, pretty much. So he basically narrowed it down to me kind of. So when I struggle to speak in the in this voice, or like when I struggle to speak in this voice, or when it takes a lot more breath for me to talk like this, it's because my vocal muscles are not used to me using my voice in this way, because it contracts the same way muscles normally would. Like if you're doing like a lot of arm exercises, it's accustomed to doing those exercises, so that's how you build muscle. But when I speak in this voice on a regular basis, whether it's in my personal life or just on stream or anywhere outside of work, then my vocal muscles are used to stretching and contracting to make this sound. But if I'm talking like this, it's a little different. So it takes a lot more effort for me to talk like this and keep it steady, even though this is my bass or natural voice. Me going OL voice, like me going like this deep of a voice, I have to use way more breath than I normally would, because it's such a deeper projection of what I'm used to, which is why it's a lot more effort for me to speak like this, and even to speak like this, like just casually. So yeah. The more you learn or the more you know. Please don't lose your breath. No, I try not to. So I was like, okay, so what the fuck do I do with this information? And he was like, yeah, it's okay for you to speak the way you normally do. That's just how your voice is at this point. Like, if you code switch, that's normal, that's fine. But it would be still good for you to practice your bass voice, just so that you can kind of get more dynamic in your pronunciation and your tone and the emotion in your speech. I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, you know, higher voice isn't really that bad, and it's actually a pretty good weapon. You know, Lily Pichu from Offline TV? I'm like, I was like, yeah? He's like, I follow her because I used to train voice actors. So I know a lot of people that would kill to be able to speak naturally in a higher tone. So you should use that, but also you should practice your bass because you could use that in a lot of situations. So I'm like, okay. It was fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Also, sorry if I'm not reading chat too well. I will explain why. In, like, right now. So, due to unforeseen circumstances, my PC reset. I lost everything. And it reset because of things related to ex-roommate. So I had to, you know, yeah. Most of them are in the server. Yeah. What did she do? I can't explain. It's nothing bad. It's just that I lost a lot of files on the PC. It's hard to explain, but so I just won't. But I've basically had to reset my PC. So I lost all my files. I'm very unorganized at home because I usually don't have time to work through all of my files and stuff. So everything was kind of just in my downloads folder. And I have some things backed up, but as it turns out, I missed out on a couple files. So that sucks. Yeah. So I couldn't find my starting soon screen. I'm so sorry. I couldn't find the BGMs I had downloaded. I think I lost the settings on my model. Like, I had to reinstall everything. That's why I was saying, if OBS crashes, I'm sorry. But this is the most updated version of OBS, and we never trust the most updated version of OBS. But chat works. My UI on chat works. And that was the biggest bish for me to fix when I was struggling with OBS. So it's okay. It's okay. We have to bring back Mushroom Mellow? I'm a mushroom? If it was the boxing com? Yeah, it was, yeah. I thought I had it downloaded somewhere, but I didn't. So I'm so sorry. I lost a lot of screenshots of like fun collabs. I lost a lot of like pictures I took of my model. I lost a lot of old thumbnail files. I was able to keep like the PSD for things, but now I have to reinstall my entire Adobe Cloud. I lost VODs that I was going to eventually edit. So I have to scrub through my VODs again. It's just a lot that I have to do. I also have to look into my settings because I'm kind of seeing a little bit of screen tear on my VTube Studio. I don't think it's showing on OBS that much, but it's also not as fluid as it was before. So yeah, I am back. I will say this, I am back for good. I just need a little bit of time to kind of recover, because I want to make sure that nothing like crashes midstream. And we had a lot of issues at the start when I started streaming of like this taking too much memory, this eating up my CPU, all that stuff. So I as you all know, I work full-time somewhere out there. And when I come home, I'm just friggin' exhausted. Not to mention there's like heat waves all over Canada right now, and I don't have AC. I do not live with AC. It is 30 degrees. It is 30 degrees and I don't have AC. It is friggin' hot. I'm sweating so much right now. So I am also the bed bugs. Update on bedbug lore. We thought we thought the last fumigation would be the one. And I think it is the one. We still, however, I am still getting bites. But the thing about fumigation is that it's not going to kill things that are already in eggs. So most of it is probably in the living room, and me and the girly pop still have to go through that. There's a lot going on in our lives right now, as you all know, especially with the other girly pop that had to leave us. You know, we were dealing with a lot of shit. There was a lot going on, so I am kind of dealing with my final boss battle with the bed bugs. We're trying to not have to do another fumigation, so I'm doing every other step in the book. It's just really expensive. We have spent so much trying to recover from bed bugs. And the worst part is the building managers refuse to admit that it may have been from the apartment itself rather than our stuff. Because we moved in with our shit. None of us had bed bugs in our other apartments, okay? None of us. Otherwise, we wouldn't have moved. That's just how it is. Bed bugs are your mortal enemy now that Bell Canada is gone. For real! For real! Terrible landlord. Yeah. It's like one of those things that's hard to track, because like one single bed bug could have gotten into one of our things and suddenly we brought it into the apartment and bam! You know, it's hard to put accountability on someone over that. Which I get, and honestly, I would rather deal with it than get evicted. This is a really shit month to be moving, so I'd rather stay here and protect my peace by fighting the bed bugs. However, it is draining so much of our expenses. And you know, us girly pops, we can only do so much. We only earn so much on a regular basis. You still have to pay rent. So it's been really tough. It's battle after battle. Yeah. It's kind of just been one thing after another, but you know, it is what it is. It kind of just is what it is. We cope, you know, we cope. We do what we can. That's it. Girl can't get a break. No, for real. But right now, I am more than happy to just be able to, you know, do stuff. Like, I can finally breathe. I feel like I am no longer as mentally stressed out over life now that our other girly pop has moved out. And I have the whole room to myself. I actually feel so much better. Nope, no crying. No crying, not allowed. Not allowed. Bah. It's been a lot. That's all I can say. I've had my share of like crash outs and breakdowns and crying in the office bathrooms. I've had my moments. I'm out of tears. The point is, one of the shittier parts is over. I can breathe. I feel so much better now. It's not, you know, it doesn't mean that every other challenge that I'm dealing with is over, but I can at least, you know, come back to stream and talk to you guys. Ang cute mo po. Thank you po! Oy, Philippines! Oy, Philippines! Glad to hear things are looking up. Always wishing you the best. Thank you. I do appreciate it. And of course, I am once again super happy to see so many of you guys come back. I was not expecting that. I really wasn't. And I'm so happy that you have, because I'm not gonna lie, Chad. I'm not gonna lie. Throughout all of this, the other thing that was stressing the fridge out of me was thinking that I would have been forgotten by now. I was like, damn, I'm inconvenient, but I don't know if anybody knows I'm inconvenient. I'm a VTuber and I tweet a lot, but I don't think people know I'm a VTuber anymore. If I'm like terrified to look at my YouTube and be like, are people still subscribed to me? I don't know. It was a lot of that, and it was making me crash the frick out, because there are so... Hi, Ohio! There are so many things that I realized I really want to do as a content creator. And I absolutely hate making excuses. I absolutely hate the fact that these are things I probably could do if I wasn't being cucked by life. But it's not a valid excuse. Yes, it is what it is. To be fair, I don't think there is I don't think there's a lot that I can do for myself at this point in time. But like, I can't. There's only so much I can do in a day. But I was terrified. I was terrified because in my brain I'm like, well, I want people to recognize that I'm part of this group. I want people to recognize that I don't just tweet stuff, like random stuff. I'm not just, talking about gamer subs and cats and stuff on my Twitter. Like I stream, I make content, but I don't think people will recognize that because I don't have any content. At least nothing of essence in the past, what, months? How many months has it been since my last serious stream? Like, not just me, except for the altars. We don't count the altars. 3 months ago! Damn. The heel pick popped off. Okay. Mero Umiko, my favorite tweeter. What is it about that picture that's got everybody riled up? It's just my heels. Which, to be fair, are really cute. Wait, let me show you. Okay, I can actually show you the proper picture of the heels. I'll get it from the store page. Because they're really cute, and these were like on my list of things that I've always wanted to get forever. Forever. Save image as WebP. Man, why does WebP exist? Huh? Why? I freaking hate WebP. Okay, it's these heels. Oh, it's so blurry. Why is it so blurry? But these are the heels that I got. And they're so slay! Wow! Aren't they so cute? They're so slay, and they make me so tall. Still looking forward to the fanfic reading. I will get to that, I promise. I think I owe the Bubbies the whole fanfic at this point. Mero got the feet people in here with it. No! It wasn't even feet! I literally... When I took that picture, I did everything in my power to avoid showing my whole ass foot. Because I knew it would get weird. I had a feeling! I knew! I won't be like somebody's watching me. But yeah, gripper came strong. Looks like those heels that Brat stalls. I love the Brats. Sorry. Don't say the words. I'm sorry. Why? What is that? What does that do? What does that do? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not a degen, so I don't know these terms. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, I am hoping. Wait, let me see if my Pinterest loads up. There is another pair of heels that I'm really trying to get. Like, this is my next shoes purchase. For those that don't know, I may be a broke bitch, but holy fudge, do I love shoes. If I could, all my money would be on shoes. Let me... Where's my Pinterest? Because that was on my wishlist forever. Forever. If I could find these other ones. Is it these ones? No. Save image. Please don't be a WebP. It's not a WebP! Yay! I wish I could be a shoes collector. The worst part is, like, I love cute shoes. I don't have the clothes to wear them with. And these... Ooh! I want it! I want it! It's so cute! That is so cute! That's my... Okay, I love red. Have you gone thrifting for clothes? I have, actually. I have. I've actually thrifted a few cute finds. I found myself a really cute, like, maxi black skirt. And it feels like a very cute fancy dress. But it's also, like, casual enough for me to wear to work. And it's like, this is my casual going out dress. How expensive though? Could put them on throne. If there's anything I would put on throne, it would be things to fight bedbugs with. Or, okay, so now that I have space in my bedroom, how do I explain this? Okay, so when I was moving apartments, there was this instance where my friend, she was helping me move stuff over to the new apartment. When we woke up, I heard... So she was sleeping in the living room of my old apartment. I heard her watching shorts in the morning, like YouTube shorts. And I woke up to that sound. And in my brain was like, huh, this kind of reminds me of, like, when you wake up in the morning and then you get your breakfast and watch anime on the TV in the morning. And I felt so homesick. I just felt so homesick. Because that's usually how it was back home. Like, my mommy would cook breakfast for me and my dad, and then we would, like, we would watch, like, the TV and then eat breakfast together. And I felt so homesick. So this may be me living beyond my means, but I want to find a cheap, like, TV off of Facebook Marketplace, and then maybe just a tiny couch. Or like a beanbag chair that I can put in the room and then put the TV up somewhere. Sit back, you know, relax. Because this is my space now. It's finally my room. And I want to make it feel as homey as possible. So, there are things that I would have put on throne. I'm not gonna lie. I could put the heels on throne and stuff, but if you would like to support me, I'm not gonna lie, chat. Streamlabs. I try. I'm not gonna buy a TV with the I'm not using Streamlabs to buy a TV. God, my priorities are bed bugs. My priorities right now are bed bugs and then an AC, like a portable AC, because it gets really warm in this room. Like, I'm drenched in sweat right now. Like actual cable TV? I mean, there's like much smaller monitors that I could probably just set aside. But like, I'd like, you know, I kind of want the feeling of a big TV. But not like, I don't know. It's not on my list of priorities. My priorities right now are bed bug stuff and like an AC, because it's so bad. Is the AC not something the landlord has to fix? Nope. Nope. Because the apartment comes as is. Haha. Feel for a monitor? Whoa. I wonder if there's like a monitor that'll hit right, you know? You can get a TV around less than 100 these days? Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of moving out sales on Facebook Marketplace, so Eventually, when I do have the financial space to kind of do that, then I will. But it's not a priority. What happened to my nails? Damn. Anyway. But yeah. So that's life so far. I've had good luck with the Best Buy brand portable AC. Is that like the one where you have to freeze a bottle in the freezer and then put it in the AC? My only thing is like portable ACs are like $400. And I can't afford that right now. I really can't, unfortunately. I wouldn't be able to have the same nostalgia we had a CRT. Oh my gosh. I remember when my TV, like back home, used to have an antenna. I gotta walk like 2,000 miles. What? Why? And I will walk 2,000 miles, and I would walk 2,000 more just to be, I don't know, the next livings. La da da da, la da da da. But you better be here when I'm done. I'm ending soon. My phone's dying. If not, I expect Frostpunk soon and love you or something. I mean, I guess I love the Bubbies or something. I don't know. It's got a tube that goes out the window. Oh, how much was that? Insignia? Portable air conditioner. That's about $300. I don't see a tube. Oh, I see the tube. $300 is a lot. I see open box available for $65. Okay, what does open box mean? Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to risk shit anymore. I'm not taking no secondhand thing just to not know whether there's bed bugs in it. It just mean returned goods. Oh, used. Have you guys heard of bedbug PTSD? I've seen people crash out over bedbugs so hard on Reddit where they're like, I'm never buying anything secondhand again. Never! Don't you take the same risk with Facebook Marketplace? On a TV? No! I don't actually buy shit from Facebook Marketplace. The only thing I would ever buy there would be like a TV. It's been opened and returned. Depends on the store if they differentiate between used and opened and immediately returned. What? I'm not gonna lie. Okay, lower drop. Bedbugs could be in the TV. Don't tell me that. Wait, no. No, wait, no. It's different because an AC has vents and filters. Wait, oh man. No, I don't want to buy an old TV. Man! I'm trying to save money! What the heck? Kumena, sorry. Sad face. That's crazy. What? You can clean and what the fuck? Bug spray down items first too. Wouldn't that break it? They were there and the landlords did jack shit. Likely. It's a very likely story. What is happening? Can I get a window unit? See, that's my issue. If I were to get a window unit, it has to be one of those thin portable ones. Not portable, vertical ones. Is someone running dirt bikes outside? Jesus Christ. And window units are also quite expensive, yeah. Like, okay. Vertical window air conditioner. How do I explain this? I don't know. It's most likely that ACs with like a tube would be the way for me to go because my windows are a very specific kind of window. And I can't uninstall them because I live in an apartment building. They have screens. The windows have screens. I don't know. Portable is like one of my very few but only possible options, unfortunately. And it sucks. But it is what it is. Oh, Cora's DMing me. Yeah, I don't think this would fit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah. As much as I want to cut costs, portable is my only option right now. Because I at least can like mold a thing to cover the rest of the screen and then just have that fit out. Like just have the tube against. Yeah, exactly. You can put the tube right against the screen. It's just, they're just so fucking expensive, chat. I don't know. It's just too much. So honestly, I'll just die. Well, so you might be able to jerry-rig a dehumidifier, but it would be very DIY. Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, that would be like one of my priorities right now after the bedbug boss fight. But after that, I'm a free woman. I'm a free woman. Did you see that Blackpink came back and they're like facing a bunch of backlash right now? God, is a horrible curse. Yep. It is. It really is. Speaking of heat wave, why the conversion rate from USD to CAD is terrible. It's terrible. But on the plus side, I don't know if I got to mention this, but when our old roommate moved out, she left me her gunpla. I have so much gunpla right now. I am gonna be busy for a while. I'm so freaking happy. Where's my backlog picture? Where is my backlog picture? Save image. On purpose, yeah. Ta-da! Oh. Oh. Ta-da! Yay! Backlog! Wow! I'm working on my Strike Rouge. The ship for the Strike Rouge? Wait, that's not... Is that all my backlog? It is, yes. And then my Red Astray is in my room somewhere. It's not in this picture. The box isn't in this picture, but it's in my room somewhere. So this is my whole backlog. Let's go! Wow! I'm so excited. I want to build the Barbados first. Like the recolor. Hold on. I want to show you something. I'm going to show you something. I show you something? I'm going to show you something. Hold on. Let me... I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Oh. This is my next goal. After all that backlog. I want to build, I want to build this. It's gonna be really blurry. I'm sorry in advance. Wow! Oh, it's not that blurry. Wow! I want to build that. Like, look how cool that is! I want to do it! On stream! And also, I want to get another... I want to get one more, wing? Maybe not that wing. Maybe just some other gunpla that I think would look really cool flying or floating or descending down from the heavens. And instead of, like, regular liners for the engraved lions on the plastic, I'm gonna find a way to get, like, you know those glow-in-the-dark ones if you shine a black light on it? I'm gonna try and do that. Make it, like, luminescent in black light. So that I can surround it with, like, black light in a corner of my room or something, and it'll look, like, really, really sick. I don't know how I'm gonna mix that, but it'll happen. Surely you can get, like, black light ink that's black. To the naked eye. I feel like that's a thing. I'm sure there's a way. Surely. So yeah. That's my next project. Not like next. Have I already ordered the gunplas? No, I have not. I unfortunately have not. But, you know, that's a someday thing. I'm only gonna touch my, like... I'm only gonna touch on new gunplas or like spend money on gunpla after I get an AC, because this is terrible. Also, my phone is about to die. So I really did just want to come on stream and yap a little bit and talk to you guys, give like a little bit of context to the hiatusi. But right now, it's come back Oshi! Mero, come back Oshi Umiko! Frick yeah! Soon TM. Okay. I do have to dip out, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. No! No back shots. No thank you. This is a Christian channel. Family friendly. Thank you. Kaka! Why do we have eagles in the... Why are there eagles in the chat? What is that? What am I looking at? Oh, it's clear black light. What if I put that on top of the black lining? Ooh! Wait, don't give me ideas yet. I'm still broke, chat. if you guys want to fund my fight against the bedbugs, Streamlabs, and link below, thank you. Thank you. I need to recover. I need to fight the boss. Anyway. Thank you so much for dropping by. We're gonna try and raid into someone. Okay? Okay. I'm sorry, I don't have a set schedule on when I'm gonna come back just yet. However, it'll be sometime soon. That's all I can really say. Who's streaming right now? Who? Who? Why is my YouTube taking so long? Hello, YouTube. There we go. Ooh! Okay, I think a lot of you guys like the horse game, so I'm gonna I'm gonna redirect you guys into Kaya. She's playing the horse game. How big is my room? I don't know. If I eventually find someone with a measuring tape that I can borrow, I will let you know in the puppy server. Okay, please, before we go, please join the Conbini server if you haven't. It's pinned in the chat. That's where everybody in Conbini is. And if you haven't yet, could you please get the See About Me roll so I see more of you in my puppy chat in there? Thank you. I'd appreciate it. And if you wanna, I don't really like dropping my Streamlabs like too much, but if you would like to maybe just help just a tiny bit, I'm so sorry. I'm really so sorry. I just need to fight the bosses. I need to fight the bed bugs, and after that, I'm a free woman. I just have to pay rent soon. That's it. But but yeah, anything helps. You don't have to. Obviously, it's not a necessary thing. It's not a mandatory thing. I don't mind. It's fine. But yeah, we're reading into Kaya. Please say Mero Raid. Mero Raid. Where's my bubble? Bubble. Jelly. Mero Raid. We're raiding into Kaya. She's playing Uma Musume. Wow. Okay. I don't have an ending stream thing set up, so I'm just gonna bye everybody! See you next stream. Thank you for dropping by. I love you guys. Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you again. Atsumera!